Okay. So for those who still not scan the QR code for the attendance, you can scan later. Okay, or you can go to the e-learnings and scan the QR code. I hope that my voice is clear and you can hear. Okay, and you can see the PowerPoint. Okay. So for this section actually is we will see the environmental issue, which is some of the environmental issue is already reviewed and follow by the discussion of many environmental factors in the process design or the chemical product design. Okay, so in the early of the in the for the protection of the environments or in the early stage. Okay, so actually we more focus on the removal of pollutants such as like liquid, okay, gas as well as the solid stream lah. Okay, so many plant is produce what is it, waste, right? Okay, like a solid waste or in the during the treatments, the water treatments, okay, before we discharge to the river. Okay, so now is we have to shift to the not only to focus on the removal but also waste minimization, such as like waste reduction, okay, pollution prevention, okay. So it's more sustainability, okay, and the selection of raw material also important as well as the chemical products, okay. So that we have to consider, okay. So actually since 1970s, okay, if you look at here that in many industrialized nations, environmental protection has transformed from the secondary to the primary issue lah. Okay, even until now lah. Okay, so we have to take into considerations. Okay, yeah, this one I've told you early effort. We have to protect the environment, focus on the removal of pollutants, waste gas, liquid and solids. Okay, so now we are shifted to the waste minimization. Okay, this is what I already explained. Okay, so even not only in Malaysia but other countries also. Okay, we have tighter the environmental regulation as well as enforce over uh, not only in Malaysia around the world, right? Okay, especially developed country. Okay. So as a result, we can see the improvement in the air quality. Okay, especially in not on especially in the urban areas. Okay, reduction in the water pollutant. Okay, air pollution. Okay, remediation of many waste dumps from the plant. Okay, or containing toxic chemicals. Since uh, we can remove the toxic pollutant from the waste before we discharge to the environment, right? Okay. So even many industrials, okay, have emphasized on the maintaining the clean environments lah. So so this is as an engineer also you should consider lah. Okay, and some investment also we need to consider to protect our environments. Okay. Okay. So let's we move how what is the waste management hierarchy? Okay, if you look at here that we call it as a paradigm shift from removal of pollutants to waste minimization. Okay, so this is like kita panggil apa? Kita panggil like pyramid. Okay, pyramid. The top one is most preferred lah, and the least preferred at the bottom part. So the most preferred we have to reduce and reuse. Okay. And second is recycling or composting. Third one is energy recovery. Okay. And the last one, if we have no choice, we have to treatment or dispose or landfill. This is the last choice. Okay. So many case environmental issue. which is related to chemical to the process and chemical product design process. Okay, so we have to consider key environmental issue like if you look at here that uh, burning of the fossil fuels, right? Okay, this is another one key environmental issue. Handling of the toxic waste, another issue. Bioaccumulated chemicals, toxic metals, and also naturals. Okay, so if you look at here that burning of fossil fuel is the predominant source because most of the chemicals or product is actually is from the fossil fuels. Okay, petroleums, okay, natural gas lah. Okay, so their combustion produce if you combust the fossil fuel, right? So it can produce like some pollutants, okay, such as what else? Effluent gas, okay, and then SO2, okay, NOx, nitrogen oxides, CO, CO2, soot, okay, ash, and also unburned hydrocarbons, okay, that is the issue lah for the burning fossil fuels. So this one is can cause the acid rain, smokes, haze, okay, greenhouse effect, and also depletion of the ozone. Okay, so it's also can has an adverse impact on the animals, plant life, as well as humans. Okay, so we need the method to reduce the level of the pollutants. Okay, how to reduce the level of pollutant? First, I think the the cheaper one is I think is C and D is I think is a cheaper method lah. Okay, compared to A lah. Kalau tengok kat sini C and D, right? C and D is the cost is 10 times lower lah, as compared to A, C and D. So meaning that A is a much higher in the cost. If we separate them from the source, of course is going to be costly lah. Okay. And then adjust the combustion process. Okay, separate them from the effluent gas. This one is separate them from the effluent gas is after at the how to say downstream, right? Before we emit to the environment. Okay, we have to separate. We have to treat this effluent gas. Okay. React the effluent gas in catalytic converter. Okay. So meaning that we can treat this one, absorb the toxic pollutants, okay, or before we discharge to the river, okay, we treat it, the waste we treat it, okay. So the heuristic or the hierarchy is important, especially when we want to design the process, okay. Okay, so that is about the burning the fossil fuels, okay. And second one is okay, this one you can watch the video about the effect of NOx and hydrocarbon I had seen from the YouTube. Okay, handling the toxic waste. Okay, this one some waste generators treat, store, and dispose the waste on site. Okay, okay. So they are disposed at the already provided the facilities. We call it as disposable facilities, TSDF lah, treatment, storage, and disposable facilities. Okay, and most hazardous waste end up in the landfills, which might contaminate the underground water lah. Okay. So actually, is in process design is important or essentials uh, to facilitate or include the how to say the facilities to remove the pollutants from the wastewater streams before we discharge, okay, or we put in the or move to the landfills, okay. So that is very important. If not, it's going to be contaminate the underground water, okay. So which gonna affects the environment. What else? The pollutants. environments, humans, and so on. Okay. Okay. This is about the toxic waste. And another one is the bioaccumulated chemicals. For example, is DDT. This is a very famous example. The insecticide DDT. Okay. As well as we have a pest controls. Okay, have been banned even in US since 1972. But I'm not sure in Malaysia. I think we is it still used DDT or not? Okay, for the as well as the pest control, I think is I'm not sure is already replaced or not the chemicals. Okay. So if you use this one, okay, this two especially DDT, it will remain sometimes or bioaccumulated in the soil as well as plant life. Okay, which is gonna be dangerous to our body. Okay. So similarly also this one we provided the video. Later I will give the link also in the e-learnings lah. Or to know about the accumulation of the DDT lah. Okay, as well as this one. Okay, NOx energy. Okay, so that you can just click the link and you can see the video. Okay, and this is another one, the plastic microbial pollutions. Okay, the other example how plastic uh, microbes end up in our foods. Okay, so this is example wash down to the drains when you use. For example, this one is like how to say, like a body shower, right? Okay, and flow into the ocean, absorbed by fish, and up in food. Okay, kalau ada pakai macam produk apa uh, yang biasa tu, saya lupa pula. Scrub lah, yes, yes, the scrub. Body, the jenama, the brand is I remember. Okay, I think you know this one, right? It's familiar. You can find in the at mall. You can buy at mall lah, or supermarket. Okay, this is about the plastic micro bags lah. To scrub lah sebenarnya. Okay, thank you. Okay, and the last one is the toxic metals and the materials, such as like lead, mercury, cadmium, and asbestos. Okay, asbestos. Uh, this one is we can find especially at the older buildings. Okay, they use asbestos. It's a poisoning actually. Okay, if the not if the older building is not well maintained, so it's really poisoning lah. So I think there are some case about the asbestos poisoning lah. Okay, the incident. Okay, lead content. Similarly also lead content in the paint, fuel. Uh, I think the current paints I think is already replaced now. Okay, by the other non or less toxic compounds. Okay, this one. Okay, the lead lah. Sebab dia boleh evaporate kan at the room temperature. Okay, same goes to the product contain mercury and asbestos. Okay, so this is already generally most of this dangerous product is already replaced. Okay, this metals or the toxic generally they use during 1960s, 1970s, 80s. They are still using this chemical for many applications. Okay, so I think as a chemical engineer, I think you should more stricter and follow the environmental regulation before you start to produce or design the new products. Okay, and you need the what is it? In order to know the chemical is toxic or the element is toxic or not, I think you have need the sufficient data. Okay, to confirm whether the chemical used is very toxic or not. That's why the design literature is important, especially in determining the safety data sheet. Okay, even when you conduct the experiments, okay, do not forget to search or please refer to the SDS safety data sheet before you start the experiment. Okay, so that is very important. Okay, so that is about the toxic metals and also materials. Okay. So there's some factor or environmental factor in the product and process design. Okay. So I think as a chemical engineer, I think you should be more proficient in accounting for the environmental related factor. Okay, before designing the before when you are become the engineer. Okay. So if you look at here that this is environmental friendly product and process design strategies as a chemical engineer. First, the first example is reaction pathway. How to reduce the byproduct toxicity. Okay. So if you look at here that the is a suggested pocket guide to chemical hazard by NIOSH. Okay. So this is very important because when you handle with the large quantity of the toxic chemicals, right? Okay. So other reaction pathway is you have to must consider. Okay. Unless you cannot avoid. Okay, so you have to find the different pathway lah, other than use that toxic chemicals. Okay, okay. Like if you handle with toxic chemicals, right? So you have especially in the treatment of the waste. Okay, so you have to recover or you have to separate lah before discharge. Okay, so and the what is it? the the properties or the characteristic, so you need to evaluate. Okay, so that's why you need the pocket guide as from the NIOSH as well as the SDS. Okay, and second strategies is reducing and reducing waste. Okay, meaning that tune the waste quality so that it can be sold to the waste. Okay, so it's similarly lah, just like I said now, you can treat the waste. Okay, so that we can sell, or we call it as a segregate the waste. Okay, you have to consider that. And then the third one is the include environmental objective in the design objective and the process. Yeah. Okay, first is the challenge. Is it difficult to quantify the environmental objective, or second one is one solution so that we can follow the environmental regulation, or we satisfy this regulation. Okay. So during the first, if you still remember in stage phase one, right, of the chemical and product design, right, there's a phase one. If you still remember, I think this one you have to consider the environmental how to protect the environment, okay, before you designing the products. Okay, so let's see these tutorials. Okay, please take one paper. Okay. Two serious environmental problems have received considerable attention over the past 3 decades. Okay, the serious depletion of ozone in Earth's stratospheres, especially over the North and South poles. How has this depletion occurred, and why does it present a serious health problem? And second one is the serious build-up of ozone in the big cities due to the air pollution. How has this build-up occurred, and why does it present a serious health problem? Okay, can you discuss, and please paste your answer in the Jamboard I provided. We provide this one, the link. I think the same link like a previous one, only in for chapter page 5. Page 5. If you still have my previous link, I think you can use. Okay, so please take a part. Okay, it's all of you, whether you want to answer A or B. Okay. So that is the questions. I give you about 5 to 10 minutes. So please answer, give your opinion, give your answer. So you can use the sticky note. Okay, please write A and or B. You answer A or B. Okay, break down the molecule by the halogenated compounds. Okay, halogenated compounds. What is a halogenated compounds? Correct lah. But any specific halogenated compound? Effect to humans, ozone layer depletion cause increasing UV radiation level at Earth surface, which is damaging to human. Betul lah tu. So in this case, for halogenated compound is the chlorine lah. Okay. How about B? Which one B? Anyone? Oh, B. of nitrogen oxide create ozone. Okay, betul lah. Ha? What else? And the chemical especially manufactured hydrocarbon, nitrogen solvent and okay betul. Damage to skin cell. Okay betul. Yalah, that's correct. Nitrogen oxide create ozone. Nitrogen oxide. High pollution from car and the emission of nitrogen oxide create ozone. Ozone. Maksudnya macam mana tu? Which one? This one, this one. This one. What do you mean by that one? So meaning that maybe the combustion of the what is it? The sales build up also in the big cities, maybe from the transportation and also the power generation. Okay. Maybe can release some a significant concentration of the smoke that contain of the sulfur oxide like nitrogen oxide soot and so on. Okay. So this is the volatile toxic organic compound. Okay. And organic gas, and then react with the NOx and also SOx. So it's going to create the ozone. Okay, ozone is a build up the O3 lah. Okay, so it can cause the respiratory problem lah. Okay, okay. So it's important if for the power plant we have to how in order we have to reduce the build up of the ozone or O3 on hot, especially we are in the uh our country is not four season, right? It's especially hot day lah. Okay. So we need to design like a catalytic converter to absorb the NOx, okay, or SOO2, okay, before we release to the environment. Okay. Speed deterioration of some paints and coating. Ni apa benda ni? Yang ni. Ni siapa? Macam tak menjawab soalannya. Tak menjawab soalan. Okay. Okay. So so let me share. Thank you very much for the answer. So let's we move to the sustainability lah. Sustainability. So we finish the which part? The environmental protection part. Okay, environmental protection, isn't it? Environmental protection. So we move to the sustainability. Any question about the environmental protection part? Tak ada. So we can move to the sustainability. Okay. So for the sustainability is the sustainable product is actually is one of the meets the needs of the that meets the needs of the society lah today. Okay. Especially when we considering the anticipated needs of the future generation lah. Okay. So that is our concern. Okay. And we also considering to avoid the harming the environment, or we have to protect the environment. Okay, so we must even currently we considering the green materials or green raw materials or products. Okay, so that's what we we suggest in designing the new products or new process. Okay. Uh, since if we considering the green raw materials or products, we can help to protect the environment. One, okay. Another one, we can preserve the natural resource, and also we can combat the climate change lah, or prevent the climate change. Okay, and we can circumvent the health problem lah. Okay, so that is very important when we use green raw materials or the products. Okay. So if you look at here that a sustainable product is one that meets the need of the society, okay, respecting to the anticipated needs of the future generation. So we want to avoid the harming the environment, humans, okay. We have to preserve the natural source, okay. Okay. So in terms of economics, energy efficiency, okay, use natural resources, what else? Environmentals, pollution prevention, socials, we have to, what is it, environmental justice, okay, all this should be worked together. Okay. Okay. So the growing emphasis on the sustainability is closely related to the increasing recognition of the global warming. Okay, this is due to the GHG effect, greenhouse effects. Okay. So since greenhouse effect mostly contributed from the traditional supplier such as oil and also natural gas. So you have to know that one. Okay. Because since a long time ago, historically, actually the most of the chemical is derived from this oil and also natural gas. Okay, they produce like methane, ethane, propane, aromatics before they use this as a raw materials and converted to the end products. Okay. Okay, and large of the if you look at here that 80% of energy for the manufacturing and 80% of the waste produced in the manufacturing are associated with the chemical industry, even in Malaysia also, like petroleum refining, okay, chemical production, forest products, steel, aluminium, glass, and also cement. Okay. So in order to achieve this sustainability, so we have to use, for example, like in order to sustain or to reach this goal. Sorry, ada call jap. Jap eh. Hello. Hello. Sorry. Okay, ada call je. Okay, to achieve this goal, to produce the sustainable product designs, actually we can use the small amount of raw materials, okay, small energy, and we can produce small amount of waste with the high quality products. Okay, this is one of the strategies. Okay, so and decision to take advantage to this cheap price and easy accessibility may result in expensive and inaccessible raw material for future generations. Okay. So if we take this choice, uh, uh, considering the easy accessibility, we never consider the sustainability. So I think this gonna affect the future generation. Okay. So meaning that when you become an engineer, we have to consider the life cycle, okay, a full life cycle starting from the initial until the answer. Okay, so that is most important. Okay, like are you considering like use plastic, right? This is a current issue. You use a non-biodegradable plastic, right? So as a replacement of the biodegradable plastic, we have to use a non-biodegradable plastic. So we have to use biodegradable plastic, which is can be produced from the biomass, so it can be sustained and protect the environment. Uh, Another example is like biodegradable microcapsules. Okay, and also we have to use raw materials which is renewables. Okay, there's a no waste disposal issue. Okay, right? Okay, because since when you dispose the plastic, it can easily be biodegrade. Even now in Indonesia, okay, they invents plastic that can, after you use it, just solubilize in the water, just put in the water, okay, it can easily be solubilized. Okay, so that is the in term of the sustainability, and we can protect the future generation. Okay, okay, so it's important to consider full life cycle. Okay, and renewables, which is no depletion, can replace the fossil fuel. Okay, okay. So in order to design more sustainable industrial process, okay, which is do not compromise the ability of the future generation, okay, in order to meet their needs, okay, we can use this indicator. There's a two indicator. Okay, one is the we call it a sustainability indicator lah. One is the green scope, and another one is life cycle analysis. For the green scope is for the industrial process sustainability, and life cycle analysis is more to the product sustainability lah. Okay, so this is the indicator that generally can be used as a full life cycle, the analysis of full life cycle. Okay. So for the green scope, actually is actually it have been implemented by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. This is the green scope. Okay, let's see the green scope. The full name is a Goching Reaction Effectiveness for the Environmental Sustainability of the Chemistry with the Multi-Objective Process Evaluator. Okay, so panjang lah ni. So we just use green scope. Okay, developed by the researcher from U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, can be used to evaluate industrial process in order to identify aspect of potential process design. Okay, so the process will be evaluated for 140 indicators at 5 levels. Generally, worst case is 0% lah. 0% sustainability. 100% sustainability is the best case lah. Okay, so 5 level is if you look at here, there's already, you can see in the textbook actually page 61 what the meaning of the 5 levels. Level 1 actually is more to the facility compliance, involving a cost, environment, health, and also safety compliance. And then level 2 is a measure the material use, okay, like energy, rate of the customer complaints, and also the returns. Okay, level 3 is more to indicator of the facility effects. Okay, the labor, okay, the workers, that is level 3 lah. Level 4 more to supply chain, okay, of the and also product life cycles. And level 5 is the indicator of measure the system effect. That is the the 5 level for the green scope. Okay. Okay. As I told you that the green scope is we express in terms of the percentage. Best score is 100, and the worst score is 0% lah. The worst sustainability. For example, we consider like biodiesel, right? So this is the green scope in terms of the environments. Okay. Actually, the green scope indicator comprise of 4 areas. Environments. Number one is environment. Environmental lah, efficiency and efficiency. Number 2, and then economic, and another one is energy. Okay. Environment, number one, efficiency and economic and energy. If this one is an example for the environment. Eh? So this one is the green scope environmental indicator from the biodiesel production actually. Okay, we want to evaluate the sustainable process. Okay, for the conversion of vegetable oil to the biodiesel lah, by using alkali catalyst this one. Okay, so if you look at here, uh, they have 66 environmental indicator. This one, right? This one is number one. This one is number one. Okay, and this one is the last one, 66. Okay, so we used to compute the green scope. This is including the hazard, what else? The failure, the mass, okay, and so on. Okay, so all these abbreviations, I think you can find from the Google what the meaning of FTATR this one. For example, and hazard. This one is for the hazard, right? Okay, and MS is this one is for the mass. Okay, this one is more to failure. Okay, if you look at here that most of the indicator approach unity. See this one unity like 100%. Best case. Okay, 100% sustainability. Best score lah. Okay. Kalau tengok, if you look at here that for the hazard and hazard, the score is only about 40%. Okay. So meaning that high ratio of hazardous input lah. Okay, to the total number of the process input. Okay, so meaning that lower lah, hazard is quite high lah. Okay, and then another one is mass. This one, right? It's only about how many percent this one? This one, kalau ni 40%, this one around 15%. Okay, this one 20, right? Okay, below than 20% lah. Okay, so meaning that the high ratio of mass of solid waste to the mass of the biodiesel product. Mass solid waste is much higher. Okay. Okay. So meaning that produce more waste than the biodiesel. Okay. In terms of the failure, 50% is one, right? Okay. That is more related to the component or your system. Okay, about 50%. Okay. So this is the indicator for the biodiesel production. So you can, this one is for environment. So you can do also for the efficiency, economic and energy indicators. I think you can refer to the textbooks, what the reference in that you can use to construct this indicator for the efficiency, economic and as well as energy. Yeah. So let's see for the LCA. For the LCA, if you look at here that see sustainability of the product throughout its life cycle is evaluated via various sustainability indicator. Water and energy consumption. Okay. This how to say for life cycle energy is we have to measure starting from the initial, meaning that from the raw materials, including harvesting. If you want to produce the biodiesel, just like now, right? Biodiesel maybe from the palm oils or vegetable oils. You have to start from the harvesting, from the extraction, conversion to biofuel, okay, until end of the life lah, cradle to grave lah. Yeah, itu memang you have to measure from starting from that one. Okay. Okay. So although the biofuel, if you consider biofuel is the carbon neutral, actually if you evaluate by using life cycle analysis, this is not the green actually, because when you harvesting, you use what is it, the maybe the excavator or what is it, the lorry, right? The tractor. We use fossil fuel. We still use petrol, but the emissions from the conversion of from the exhaust is actually is not neutral, although we call it as a carbon neutral. Okay, that is if we analyze in terms of life cycle analysis. Okay, okay. So what else we have to consider if we want to produce biodiesel? Okay, handling the products. Okay, how to handle the residual of the biomass. Okay, harvesting, extraction, conversion to biofuel, and so on. Okay, so meaning that from starting to until the end. Okay, we have to to measure, or we have to do the analysis. Okay, so as a conclusion that environmental and sustainability issue must be considered in product design for long-term benefits for the company, society, and also environment. Okay, we need different strategies, resource and method. Okay, uh, that we need to propose or develop or introduce in order to cater the needs of the environmental friendly and sustainable product design. Okay, so all aspect we have to consider to protect the environment, sustainability, safety issue, and so on. Okay, as a chemical engineer. Okay, so that is about the sustainability. Any questions about the sustainability before we move to the engineering? Nak rehat ke? 5 minutes break. Ada soalan ya? Any question? Okay. You need a break? 5 minutes? So far, okay. So we break for 5 minutes before we last part, before we move to the last part. 5 minutes, okay? Kalau nak ni ya. Next we move to the engineering ethics. I think this one is more like you. I think yeah, just read Mostly for the engineering ethics is like what we call ya, antara hidup dan mati lah as a chemical engineer. A matter of life and death lah. Okay, if you work in company and you have to consider many things, whether you have to consider the environment, okay, customers, your your what is it, your supervisor, okay, all these things you have to consider. Okay, so ethics actually is the characteristic of the moral. Okay, so the moral choice made by the people in relationship with the others. Okay, this is the definition of the ethics. So as engineering ethics, we can say that the philosophy indicating ways that engineers should conduct themselves in their professional capacities. Okay, so later I will show you the example like how to disposing the waste, how in terms of the what is the ethics. Okay, so ethics and ethical reasoning is vitally important in engineering. It can be a matter of life and death. Perkara hidup dan mati. Kadang-kadang kita tak tahu. Nak you want to what is it, listen or follow the supervisor, or we have to consider the environment. Okay, so yang ni you boleh baca lah. Okay, so engineering is a professional practice of utilizing the materials and force to nature economically for the benefits of mankind. Okay, So if you look at here, this is the engineer script. What we call it as a how to say script is like aku janji syahadah lah. The engineer script lah. You can read this one. Okay. Just baca je lah. Okay, later kalau bila ada soalan boleh jawab lah. As a professional engineer, I dedicate my professional knowledge and skill to the advancements of and betterment of human welfare. I pledge, aku janji, okay, utmost of performance, honors, okay, and so on. Okay, this one is ICHE as a chemical engineer, American Institute of Chemical Engineer. They have also the philosophy or the creed. Okay, honest and impartial, increase the competence and prestige, okay, and so on. You can read this one. Okay, I will not explain one by one. Is you have to read this one. Okay, or to explain. It's just a like code of ethics. Okay, as a chemical engineer, also have a code of ethics. Okay, so we see the ethical reasonings. Okay, we need to understand that every ethical problem involve a conflict of good and interest. Meaning that antara you punya boss and you punya diri lah. Okay. Okay. If you look at here that yeah, conflict of goal and interest. Basic goals that often come into conflict for engineers is maintain professional competence, loyal to interests of employers and clients. This one right. Honest to employers, customer, and the public, non-discriminatory. Okay, and so on. Okay. For example, like this one, right? You have taken a summer job working as a forklift operator for a local company. And to clean up incorporation. You find yourself staring at 200 liters drum filled with the machine coolants. Your supervisor, Max, tell you to dump half the coolant down the drain, fill the rest with the tap water and pour it out. So you are thinking what you have to do. What you do, what you need to do, right? You go along with the Max, and then within a month you just resign. Okay. Maybe you think that Mac is just a sort of person who wrecking the environment. I'm out here, and you have become a whistleblower. Okay, reported. You're gonna report to the reporting to the Department of Environment, right? Okay, so you are in dilemma actually. You are in conflict. Okay, so since you are in dilemma, whether you accept or you want to correct the moral and also ethical stance. So this is the two things that you have to consider. Okay, disagree or agree. Okay, if disagree, you become a whistleblower. Okay, but actually there's another how to say uh, another method, or you have to consider as an engineer, you can find a better solution. Okay, so you have to consider the paradigm shift now. How, if you still remember the how to say the triangle, right? Okay, this one, right? Paradigm shift. Okay, what is most preferred and least preferred, right? So as a chemical engineer, I think you have to think the other alternative. Okay, to how to treat this coolant, how to throw this coolant, right? So one of case is we have to remove one of the method, we have to remove the what is it, the toxic substance such as like a copper, lead, and zinc in the coolants, right? You can recycle in the recyclable coolant, right? Okay. uh, and then you can store in the trams oil before you sell it. Okay. Okay, the heavy metal content in the coolant need to be removed before it can be dumped in the drains. So this is another method. Okay. Okay. So meaning that you have to find another alternative. Okay, more reasonable. Okay, as engineer. Okay. So let's see this tutorial too. By using the same link of the Jamboard. Okay. Go to the page 6. Please answer this one. You are engineer. Before we stop, we have two tutorial actually, tutorial 2 and tutorial 3. You are an engineer manager and have been asked to work with the public relation department in writing a press release about a new product that did not turn out quite as well as promised in the product. How much do you reveal to the public in the press release? Consider the alternative. I do not hint at it. I write less egotistic but honest. I am completely honest. Which one? You can choose. Can you answer the tutorial 3? Move to the page 6, okay? Which answer is most preferred lah? Which option? Okay, give the reason also. B. Okay. How about others? What is the answer? Okay. Okay, so the answer is B lah. Uh, because if you choose A, if you hide, uh, if you hide and later, if you hide the truth is, it's not good for the long term lah, right? Okay. So in the end, is the the truth gets out. Okay. And for C, if you choose C, is yeah, of course we can get the respect from the customer, but we also damage the company reputation. Wait, okay, ada soalan. Hello? Yes? Okay, so B, okay. Okay, that's good. How about this one? Tutorial 3. I think you can read lah. All answer 3. You can see in the answer. Please go to page 7. Okay, for tutorial 3. Okay, page 7. Next page. You have received a job offer from the startup company headed by the PhD chemist to be their chief process engineer, responsible to move their process for a novel solid adhesive from lab scale to full production. The product is produced in the lab by cooling a soap of chemical, some of which polymerize in the process. They require you to sign a contract before they disclose any technical details. How should you respond? Justify your response. How you should respond? Justify your response. You have to justify. A, B, and C. What's your answer? Please justify. Not only A. What's your justification? A. Why your answer is A? Okay. Please justify. A lah kan. Okay. So any other answer? How about others? Okay. Okay. Too risky. Yes, too risky. Fine lah kan. How about others? Justification? That's good justification. Too risky lah kan. Takkanlah kau nak responsible. Okay, only two. Okay. So the best choice is clearly is A lah. Okay, without the seeing the technical details, of course you shouldn't take that job lah. Takkan you nak agree kan? Even if you offer the high salary, right? If you don't see any technical details, I don't think you have to sign the contract. Okay. So apa-apa nanti jadi kat awak lah. You have to responsible. Kan? Yes. Cause me in trouble if anything happen. Okay. Thank you very much. That's good. Okay. This one I don't think so. It's the same. It's ethical reasoning. I just give you the what is it? The homeworks. I already give you. I'm gonna give you two questions. Okay. Later you can do in with your members, group members. Okay, there's a assignment too, right here. There's an assignment to design literature as well as ethical reasonings. Okay, so you have to do in the groups. Okay, um, I think you can see the recorded lecture later. Okay, and also I provide you the paper for conceptual design of the chemical devices. You have to find the literature, at least maybe 10 literatures and more about the design of the chemical devices. You have to search and get some pattern, compile all literatures and submit via e-learning. So these ones, I think you have to submit individually, although you do in the groups, but submit individually so that I can know that uh, each of you how to say work together. Okay, siapa yang tak buat tu mungkin dia takkan submit lah. Okay. And then ethical reasonings, group 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 14. Okay, you have to, how was it? So you have to submit, not one page, I think. This one is 1 to 3 page lah. It's up to you lah. 3 pages A4. Okay, word format. Explain about the chronology of the case. Okay, Volkswagen diesel scandals, Samsung Galaxy, amongst various recalls. You have to explain about the dilemma, decisions, and also conclude what you learn from this case study. Yeah. So you have to submit. I give you by next week. I think the deadline until the before 12 midnight. Okay. I will upload in the learnings just after this. Okay. So any questions? Untuk first assignment, do not forget 11 is the deadline. Okay. Okay. So if no questions, thank you very much. Okay. For the next class, we will learn about molecular. I think it's molecular design. I'm not sure for the next part. I don't know. Next part is a molecular and mixture design. Okay, on Thursday. Okay. So I will upload the what is it, the slide, video, as well as the what is it, this assignment. Okay, so thank you very much for today's. See you again.